Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hi if you're new here, hi if you're not. Welcome to day 7 of the 12 Days of Coachmas. Over these 12 days, I am essentially just reacting to and commenting on different content and concepts related to the coaching industry. If you're just joining us today, I will make sure to link the entire playlist for the series right here so you can go ahead and get caught up. Now, if you were here for day 5 of the series, I sat down, had a little chit chat with you about why people are so obsessed with celebrities, public figures, big name coaches, and why they spend so much time vehemently defending these people when they come under criticism. So similarly today, this video is going to be more of a laid back chit chat conversation where we're going to talk about another pervasive belief that I have seen time and time again in the coaching industry specifically. And this one gets me particularly riled up. I've talked about it in a number of my different reaction videos, and that is the idea that you need to consistently invest in mentorship in order to be successful in your business. This idea is completely BS in my opinion, and today we're going to talk about why I think that is. We're going to look at a couple different examples of what it looks like, and that's it. Let's go ahead and get into it. I want to give a big shout out to my channel VIP members. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out as well to my 2 lone billionaire tier members and all the other members here on my channel, my subscribers. Those of you not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. It's completely free. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, I want to start this conversation off by clearing up one very particular question that I get a lot on my Instagram DMs. I get it in comments on my TikTok videos and here on YouTube as well. I believe in mentorship. I do not think that all coaching relationships are absolutely horrible and that no one should have a coach. I think that there is value in seeking feedback or getting guidance from someone who has done the thing that you yourself want to learn how to do. There's value in learning from other people's experiences. And mentorship certainly has its place. Learning from other people, gaining different perspectives can be incredibly valuable, but I don't think that mentorship should be seen as something that is this never-ending cycle. Instead, I think we should look at mentorship or coaching as an opportunity to learn new tools, gain new skills, so that we can eventually go off and build our own thing, do our own stuff, find our own success. However, what I think the coaching industry specifically has done is they've taken this idea and they've twisted it to suit their own narrative and desire to make more money ultimately. And so they basically perpetuate this narrative that you need to continue to invest in mentorship, and if you don't, you are essentially gonna plateau or reach a point where you're never gonna be as successful as whoever this person is that you're hiring. And so I came across this post. Honestly, I can't remember if I found this myself or if someone sent it to me. So if you're watching and you sent me this, thank you so much. And if I sent it to myself, thank you so much. I'm just kidding. Let's go ahead and take a look. So this here is a carousel post, and I will pop the slides up on the screen over here. The first slide reads, "Key lessons from 2 $100,000 sales months back to back." We love a good income claim here, my friends. Number 1. Big money in requires comfort with big money out. You do not get to do $100,000 in sales in a month if you're going to overthink paying $100 for a masterclass or if paying $20,000 in taxes dysregulates you. Earning big money also means moving big money. Okay, so I think this is an example of a story that I see told time and time again in the industry of like,
money is an energy and whatever you send out is what you're going to receive back. So if you want to make a lot of money, you have to be comfortable with spending money.
Which, yes, as someone who has been an entrepreneur for almost 6 years now, you do have to spend some money to start your business or to get your business to grow. As your business starts to grow, your expenses usually tend to grow. There are like upgrades you have to do and software you have to pay for and all sorts of costs to running a business, sure. But to suggest that it has to like
come from a place of comfort, and if you're uncomfortable with spending money, then you're never going to be successful.
Personally, I don't like when they spin it in this specific way because, again, I understand their intentions from having consumed so much of this type of content. But let's continue to see what she says. 2, your unconscious wounds and patterns are your biggest block and greatest gifts for scaling your business. This is where I spent 80% of my time in these last 2 months, not my strategy. So this really reminds me of the people that say,
I don't teach any strategy in my coaching. I only teach mindset because without a proper mindset, you're never going to be successful.
Which, yes, there is a level of self-belief you have to have in order to be successful. However, when it comes to being successful in business, there is also a level of strategy in terms of how to make sales, how to scale a business, that sort of thing. And so to essentially suggest that you just have to come over your money mindset and be willing to spend more money and you'll make more money, leading people to believe that to be true is dangerous because it's not. Number 3, you're going to have to get really comfortable with discomfort. Like when you put something out there and no one buys, you have to learn how to hold the energy, not just when there's momentum, but when there's literally zero movement. No one reaching out, no sales, crickets. You'll have to drop your ego and actually get comfortable with not getting what you want. Okay, if you have a business and you've put out an offer and no one's buying the offer, it's probably time to take that offer and reevaluate the messaging around it, what the actual offer is, whether it's something people actually need, what the price point is. There are so many variables that go into why people don't buy from you. Your energy behind the offer is probably the last thing that's causing people to buy or not buy. It's likely more of an issue with the actual offer itself or the way that you're marketing the offer. Just saying. Number 4, mentorship is pretty much non-negotiable. Here we go. If you want to go to a place you've never gone before, it literally just makes sense you get in the room with someone who's been there before. You would not venture off to Antarctica for an expedition on your own. That would be dumb. A suicide mission at worst, riddled with frostbite at best. Wanting $100,000 months and refusing to invest in mentorship is literally this. No, it's literally not. Again, this is the part where I think it gets a little bit twisted because sure, there are valuable things, like I already mentioned, that you can learn from someone who has done the thing that you want to do. Does that mean that consistently paying that person a ton of money is going to automatically make you equally as successful? Absolutely not. I think there's a big difference between seeking advice and gaining particular information or guidance from someone versus expecting that if I invest in mentorship, I'm automatically going to be successful. And that because that person was successful, they have, the secret code or formula that's also going to make me successful. Because I talk about this in so many of my videos, the idea that true success is never really duplicatable. I can teach you things that I know from running a business, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be able to guarantee you results or that you're even going to get any results at all, which I think a lot of the times they kind of spin it to make it sound like it does. Like, okay, well, if you invest in me, then you're going to be successful, when that's not always the case. Number 5, your strategy matters, but client relationships and delivery matter way more, and obviously energy. Less focusing on creating shiny new funnels and more focusing on actually delivering the best for your clients. I'll give her credit on that one. That's totally true. And again, it comes back to this idea, if you're not making sales, maybe your offer sucks, maybe the messaging around your offer sucks. Take a look at why people do or don't want to work with you and adjust from there, because ultimately, if you don't have clients, you don't have a business. Number 6, and speaking of client delivery, you may want to stop expecting people to pay you $20,000 to work with you if you literally can't even drink enough water a day. The things you do or don't do when you think no one is watching are contributing to 90% of your energy when people are watching. Your incongruency is loud. So is she saying if you don't take care of yourself, people won't want to invest in you? I don't understand how this is relevant to the rest of the post, but if someone in the comments wants to fill me in on what she's trying to say here, let me know. Wouldn't be the first time I missed something, Number 7, none of it literally means anything if you're not having fun. It floors me how many people desperately chase a number or think getting to a certain monthly income is the magic milestone that will fix their life. It won't. You have to fall in love with all of it first. Every bit of your business, every bit of your life, every bit of your relationship, because you deserve nothing less and because otherwise it's all literally futile. Okay, again, this sentiment is correct, I would say. It's really important as a business owner that you set specific goals that you're trying to reach and don't always focus those goals around a specific income target, because like anything, once you achieve that income target, the marker's just gonna move. However, for her to say it is kind of ironic because in the earlier slides and in a lot of her marketing, having gone through her profile, she centers around $100,000 launches, $100,000 months, 10K days, whatever. So why are we leading with money in our marketing and then telling people,
don't care about money, it's irrelevant?
Talk about incongruency that she just mentioned, am I right? Like her bio literally reads marketing, sales, energetics for a multiple 6-figure business. So why are we being so inconsistent in our messaging? Oh, right, because we need a mentor in order to be successful. So pay me and you'll also make 6 figures. I hate it here. Now, all that to say, there are a few reasons why I really don't like this you need to consistently invest in mentorship narrative. As I kind of alluded to earlier, I think in any mentorship relationship, you're always eventually going to reach a point where you essentially plateau in what you're able to learn from that specific person, especially when it's in the context of business, because in my opinion, I think most people who are guiding you with advice based on their own experience can only guide you as far as they know, as far as they've experienced. And so unless you're trying to build the exact same business or go to the exact same place, which I guess is what we see in the coaches coaching coaches business, if you want to call it that, then it makes sense. But in the general context of normal business, it really doesn't, at least in my opinion. Now, next, and this is the one that I focus on most heavily in my content, I would say, is the financial piece. Consistently feeling the pressure to invest in high ticket mentorship can seriously negatively impact your financial health. I mean, I have an entire playlist of interviews where multiple different people explain the financial devastation they've experienced as a direct result of consistently feeling like they need to invest in coaching. And I also stitched a particular video over on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, which I'm gonna share here because I think it really paints the picture of how deeply people can become indoctrinated into this narrative of feeling like they need to consistently invest in order to be successful. So let's go ahead and watch this video.
I have $68,000 in credit card debt, all from investing in coaching, courses, and mentorship to grow my business. Earlier this year, I could no longer keep up with the minimum payments, and so I entered into a debt settlement program. This also meant that I had to break a contract with the coach, which we're all told is out of integrity. I currently have no access to credit or loans of any kind. I am entirely cash only until I pay off the settlement in full. All of this resulted in an extremely low point for me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the lowest I've ever been. Also resulting in 2 consecutive months where I made less than $500 in my business and had to borrow money from my family. For context, I had always been very traditionally smart with money and credit for my entire life up until entrepreneurship. You're your own best investment. 10x your return. I invested when it made no sense. For the longest time, I blamed that messaging and my coaches for my lack of financial results. And all that did was keep me in a loop of guilt and resentment. Because the truth is that I was the common denominator in all of those investments. The truth is that I didn't get a return because of me, and now I know exactly why.
Okay, without getting into the specifics of what she said there, because I think there's a lot of red flags that pop up for me, that video makes me really upset. I feel a lot of sadness for this individual because it's very clear to me that she has been gaslit into believing that it's her fault that she didn't get a return on her almost $70,000 investment. And while yes, there are circumstances where you purchase a course, you hire someone to help you, and maybe you don't listen to the advice they give you and you don't see a return on that investment. But I think that after an amount of time passes, an amount of money is spent investing in these coaches and these courses and so on, you should have at least some form of return. And so I really just think it's a prime example of how many people get left high and dry when they make these investments, they put in the work, they don't get the return, and then they're essentially told, nope, it was your decision to invest that money, it's your fault, blah, 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 blah. I really just wanted to share it more because I think it paints a picture of just how dangerous and how quickly these investments can impact your life outside of your business. Like she said, she had to get a consolidation loan, which essentially means that her personal credit is completely screwed, at least for the time being, because she invested so much money in these coaching programs that yielded no return in her business. Ugh, it stresses me out to think about, and I will link my response on Instagram in the comments if you're interested in hearing more specifically about my response to her. But I just wanted to share it because I really just think it shows how out of touch you can become as a result of consistently consuming this kind of narrative that like mentorship is the answer to all of your problems. The last point I want to make about why I think this narrative of you need to consistently invest in mentorship in order to be successful is not true is because through my own experience and through the experience of chatting with other friends who are in the entrepreneurship space, I think it's really clear that those who are successful in business are those who are able to adapt and innovate despite everything happening around them and not just replicate what they've seen other people do. So similar to the first point I made, I think when you are constantly sort of in this container, as they like to call it, of relying on a mentor for all of the answers to all of your questions related to your business, It's a pretty surefire way to stifle your own creativity, stifle your own ability to be able to solve problems on your own. And that's kind of where we end up in this copy paste, just do exactly whatever your mentor is doing. So rather than developing your own internal ability to like figure things out, you sort of put yourself in this position where you end up dependent and feeling reliant and feel like you need to find those answers from someone outside of yourself. Like, I don't know, traditional coaching, I mean, you're not supposed to be giving advice anyway, but it seems to me that most of these people market as if they have the advice you need to make 6 figures, whatever, and they just want to build this codependent relationship where they need you to pay them money so they convince you that you need them to give them advice. I don't know. I really don't like it though. All this to say, I think having the perspective of constantly needing to invest in mentorship can lead us to fall into this trap where we really believe that our success or our ability to achieve success is just one more mentor away. And instead, I think if we can learn to empower ourselves with knowledge and understand where we actually want to go, not just where our mentor is telling us we should want to go, then we should be able to make our own strategic decisions and determine how we're going to get there. I would love to hear your thoughts on this specific topic. If you're someone who's been involved in the coaching industry at some point, did you ever feel the pressure to continuously invest in mentorship? Let me know. Thanks so much for joining me for Coachmas Day 7. I will see you tomorrow. Remember to stay safe out there. Don't join the coaching pyramid. And if you missed day 6, I'm gonna leave it for you right here on screen. So take care, comb your hair, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!